Hello creation, hope you're well. I did write this earlier on today. I was recording it. I'd got about a minute and a half left and I ran out of storage on my phone. So I've had to delete it and I'm doing this again. It's called The Angel at Your Side. Prayers carried to the ethers in hope of relief from heartache pain. But, regardless of request, thus made the pain would still remain. For there was no inner focus, just a plea for help to an external force. We must utilise that inner focus if we are to successfully complete the course. Readily available at any given time is the energetic guidance of the angel at your side. Recognition of the messages that the Spirit filters through is paramount to positively moving forward and gently guides one in what actions one should take or do. A willingness and openness to accepting aid from that not of the physical takes a stronger mind than one which acts out of fear and entertains the hysterical. If one be rigid in belief and unaccepting of change within one's perception, then one may well break as an unflexing tree in the hurricane season. As fragile as a mind may be, one must never lose hope, for if hope be lost within the journey of the mind, then one would more than likely be unable to cope. So many know not of their capabilities, too easy and too quick to give away their energy without realizing the real value of one's energetic currency. One would quickly weaken, and it would only take the slightest breeze to see one's bow being broken. Take heed of signs from Spirit, as all signs have meaning to aid one in one's journey of life and are sent to help one fulfill it. One must pay attention, mustn't one? Which one? That one? Anyone? Everyone? Pay attention. There's signs everywhere. Signs everywhere from Spirit. You know, just it amazes me really now when I look back at how blind I was. You know, in my life for decades, really. You know, for a long time. Wow. I mean, it's just wrapped up in the ongoings of life. You know, in the societal structure, in the what's expected of you, all that conditioning, all that illusion of what life's truly about when there's so much more to life than the physical, and signs and signals everywhere. You know, I need to have a look actually at what the spiritual representation of the bat is, because there's the last few days I've seen the bat flying about outside, you know. So, and there's lots of meanings in there. I don't just mean for the bat. I mean there's lots of signs everywhere. If you see a ladybird, if you see whatever you see, really, you know. Whatever animal. Last night I was on the astral plane again, and I was with a guy who I grew up with. It was maybe 2 or 3 years older than me. I'm not sure how old exactly. And he were a nice lad. Mark, they called him. He were a really nice lad. I liked him. He were quiet. He were quiet lad, you know. He had a couple of brothers and a sister. So, you know, but he were quiet, but always a nice lad. And I were always pleased to see him, you know. And I was pleased to see him last night on astral plane, you know, when I was doing my astral travelling. And anyway, we were talking, and they could see I was so pleased to see him. And he there were a privet, a row of edges in between us, and I'd borrowed these trimmers, not electric ones, the old style ones, because I was going to be trimming this edge, I believe. So, but I'd laid on the floor, and he was at the other side, bent down, and I was talking to him under the privet, not over it, underneath it. And then he went and sat on a bench, and he was talking to, it may have been his father, I'm not sure, I don't know, I'm not sure if it was, but there was a dog that came to me, and this dog laid down with me. And you know, when they, you know, like if you're fussing a dog, or you know, if you're just stroking a dog, and they grab hold of your hand, I don't mean to sink the teeth in you. It didn't have any teeth anyway, but you know, it sort of grabbed hold, you know, really gently, and I was just fussing it. But I think the dog, I think, is a sign of, is it partnership or companionship, friendship? It's something like that, without looking it up. So I'd have to just confirm that, you know, get confirmation of that. But it didn't have any teeth, so there was no risk of it biting me, you know. But it was lovely. It was lovely. And before now, when I've sort of done a powered animal retrieval many years ago, I actually brought a dog back with me. I have mentioned this in these videos before. When I was walking down the steps and the door opened at the bottom, and the doorkeepers or whatever they were, you know, sort of acknowledged me and walked through, and I passed 2 whirling dervishes. Yeah, they were just doing the dance. And then I went into the middle of a tennis court, and this dog came at me from 3 directions, you know. It was like as if it were attacking me 3 directions. The 4th direction, no, it just jumped on me and it was just licking me all over. And I brought my power animal back with me then, which was a dog. So yeah, I believe it's companionship, friendship, loyalty as well. So, and that's long overdue. If there's someone coming in for me, yeah, that is long overdue, very long overdue, because there's been some devious buggers, I'll tell you that for nout. Yeah, behind the scenes with their separate lives, kidding everybody else on that the sun shines out of their arse. You know. No, I'm not bitter, not at all. It's just they'll get their own karma in their own way as well, you know. So I don't doubt. But there's one thing for sure, I'm glad of the lessons that I learned through their teachings. Yeah. And I love them all. I love you all. I do. Seriously, I'm not joking. It's we're all creation. We're all under one roof. It's as simple as that. We all belong together. It's just many don't see that. They see us as separate. Anyway, they're in for an awakening. That's it for now. Take care.